Hi everyone, it's Rain here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Healing with the Inner Tarot. In this series, I will be using this book, The Inner Tarot by Kate Van Horn, as my guide to a 78 episode healing journey that I'm very, very happy to share with you. So thank you for being here. Now, before I start, I always say this disclaimer. I'm not a therapist. I'm a self-therapy enthusiast, and I have some psychology education in my background. If you feel the need to seek professional help, please do so. There are a lot of resources out there, and some of the material we cover in this series could be triggering for some people, so please keep that in mind. So, on to the good stuff. In the description below, I will be offering you a downloadable PDF workbook with some homework you can do after watching today's show. Included in this workbook is a tarot spread I created called The Page's Sage Advice. So that's my gift to you. Now let's get to it. Today we're talking about the Page of Pentacles and how we can use this card in our healing journey. Now, the Page of Pentacles is about financial opportunity, ambition, developing your skills, and new beginnings with regards to earthly matters like career, health, home, and money. This page is young energy, lots of motivation and enthusiasm. And if we look at the card, we see a young man standing in a lush field with trees behind him. This signifies abundance on the way. We also see the mountains in the background, symbolizing the obstacles and challenges that the page will be experiencing as he learns everything about his suit. He's holding a gold coin in his hand, and he's looking at it with awe. He may be wondering how he can manifest more of these coins. He's discovering how he can get what he wants. He's kind of oblivious to what's going on around him because he's focused on that coin and what it could represent. If we look at the reversed Page of Pentacles, the suggestion could be that maybe we lack focus, maybe we lack goals, maybe we're too distracted, doing too many things at the same time. You might need to ground yourself before tackling new projects. So why don't we look at how Kate describes this card in her book? She says, "The page is longing for you to look at the world with childlike wonder and marvel at all of the opportunities that await you. It's certainly a message of fruitful new beginnings, similar to the Ace of Pentacles, but with an even more eager spirit and a willingness to take on challenge." Kate also says, "With grounded feet and a willing and able body, the Page of Pentacles can remind us that sometimes the best way of learning something new is by trying it. Use the body mindfully and discover how capable you are, even if that means encountering some mistakes or scuffling your knees along the way as you experience the occasional misstep or mistake." The page is a young messenger on the beginning of his journey. He's the bearer of good news. In all earthly matters, there's good news coming in when you get the page in a reading. He's ready to lay down the foundations of a new beginning and follow through with ambition and focus. He's offering you this gift. I wanted to read something from the book because Kate includes journal entries for each card that she's written, and the one for the Page of Pentacles is very poetic, so I want to share that with you. This is what she writes. "When I close my eyes to connect and search for answers, all I see is green. A field of sprawling grass, fresh blades of promise. Immediately I'm greeted with a sense of freedom and expansion. It's here where I become a student of my soul." Isn't that lovely? I thought that was just lovely. Maybe one thing you can do is study the card and write a little bit of poetry or prose yourself so that you can really connect with this page. That's an idea. I was kind of inspired to do that. I thought of writing a few affirmations with regards to the Page of Pentacles, and they kind of all came together, so this is what I came up with. "I see the coin in my hand as an opportunity. This opportunity excites me. I'm curious and intrigued and in awe. I want to pursue this new journey with focus and determination. I know there will be forks in the road, but I will not give up until I reach my goal. Later on, I'll talk about how Kate suggests we connect with the card. She talks about inviting new vibration in through movement. So today I thought I'd talk about how we can uplift our energy by moving around. You know, a lot of the time when I'm working on shows and doing research and writing scripts for shows, I will often forget to get up. I can sit for hours, and when I finally get up, oh, I'm achy and I have sore legs, and this is particularly bad for my sciatica. And for those who don't know, sciatica refers to the pain that travels along the sciatic nerve, and the sciatic nerve is from the base of the spine all the way down to on the back of your leg, all the way down to your ankle. And for me, it's my left leg that I have sciatica issues, but it gets really, really bad when I'm sedentary. This is a quote from a website called Very Well Health. The quote is, according to the Start Standing organization, sitting too long is considered just as harmful for the body as smoking. While there is not an exact amount of sitting to be considered unhealthy, the general consensus is that the more you sit, the worse it is for you. This is especially true if your sitting is uninterrupted, meaning you do not take any breaks. I was just saying that. And just the other day, I was sitting here, and honestly, I was so thirsty, but I just didn't want to get up. I wanted to keep working. But I have to stop doing that. I have to get up once in a while and give my body a little bit of movement, because leading a sedentary lifestyle basically consists of low energy movement, like sitting or lying down or reclining. According to Statistics Canada, a survey was done, and it's an old one. It was done in 2012 or 2013, I believe. It says that most Canadian adults, on average, spend 9 hours a day sitting or reclining, okay? This doesn't include sleep. 9.8 hours. That's crazy. If you're lucky enough to get 8 hours sleep, you're either sitting, reclining, or lying down for almost 18 hours a day. Think about that. Let's look at the effects of sitting for long periods. It's not good for you. The Hopkins Medicine Center calls it the sitting disease, and here's what they said. Sitting for long periods is associated with bad health, outcomes including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and cancer. Sedentary behavior can also increase your risk of dying, either from heart disease or other medical problems. Even if you're doing 30 minutes per day of physical activity, it matters what you do the other 23 hours a day. So if you're a typical Canadian adult and you're off your feet for about 18 hours a day, and even if you still jog, say, for 30 minutes a day, it's still not going to keep you safe from the risks of the sitting disease. So why don't we take a look at the dangers of sitting too much? What happens when you sit too much? Well, number one, your heart weakens. Like any muscle, your heart needs regular exercise to stay strong and efficient. When you're sedentary, your heart doesn't get the workout it needs, right? Over time, this can lead to a weaker heart rate that has to work harder to pump the blood through your body. Number two, your muscles and bones get weaker. When you're sitting for long periods of time, you're not actively using your muscles or applying healthy forces to your bones that keep them strong. Extended periods of inactivity can lead to muscle atrophy, particularly in your legs and your glutes. That's your butt. like I talked to you about before, when you sit too long, you get pain in your legs and in your butt. This means these muscles become weaker, they become smaller over time, and they affect your overall strength and mobility. And again, this goes back to my personal example of how sitting for long hours, it gets the sciatic nerve going, and it creates so much pain. And I'm sure it's really not good for the blood pumping through my legs either. Number three, Your hip flexors shorten and tighten. Your hip flexors, for those of you who don't know, those are the hip muscles, and they're responsible for your legs and knees lifting up and down. So if your hip flexors shorten and tighten, this can lead to hip pain and mobility issues, potentially affecting your gait and increasing your risk of falls. We often hear about how people fall and they break their hips and they don't recover from it. So let's try to keep our hip flexors really, really healthy. Number 4, poor posture. Now, postural changes can lead to chronic pain and discomfort, such as your shoulders may round forward, and then you get upper back pain and shoulder pain. Your neck might strain from looking down at screens. You get neck pain and stiff necks. Your lower back can lose its natural curve, and that's not good either because that creates back pain. So number 5, pressure on your spinal discs. This is a scary one. I think of this as kind of scary. This can lead to premature degeneration of the discs, potentially causing back pain and other spinal issues. We don't want spinal issues, my friends. Number 6, your metabolism slows down. A sedentary lifestyle can significantly impact your metabolic health. When you're inactive, your body burns fewer calories throughout the day. This can lead to weight gain, and if you don't adjust your caloric intake accordingly, it can lead to obesity. Now, I can attest number 6 to be true. As many of you know, if you've watched this series or any of my live streams, I often mention that I had a work burnout in 2013. At that time, I weighed 98 pounds. I'm 5'3", okay? Now, that was a bit abnormal for me. I usually weighed about 110, but I had lost a lot of weight because I was so stressed from work that I was having a hard time eating. So I was 98 pounds. Basically, after burning out, I stopped moving because I was on a lot of meds, and my body and my mind and everything was just exhausted all the time. So I was either in bed or sitting at my computer or on my couch, and I'm not kidding, I'd say 22 hours a day, because I had 2 dogs and I would get up and let them out, or I would get up to go to the bathroom, or I would get up to go to the kitchen. But the rest of the time I was in bed watching the Weather Network, or I was sitting on my couch or at the computer. It was awful, really sedentary. And the combination of this sedentary lifestyle and the meds caused me to blow up. And I think I reached 245 pounds within 2 years. Imagine my poor ankles and knees, they just no good. And I still have lasting effects because sometimes my knees and my ankles will just buckle as I'm walking. And it's really, really dangerous because if I fall, I'm not expecting, you're walking along and all of a sudden your ankle buckles, you fall. You could hit your head, you could break a bone. It's very dangerous to lead a sedentary lifestyle. So why don't we go back to the list? Number 7, your mental health may suffer. Sitting too much can also impact your mental well-being. Studies have shown a link between sedentary behavior and an increased risk of depression and anxiety. You might also find it harder to concentrate or feel motivated throughout the day. Possible explanations for this include disruptions in brain chemistry, reduced blood flow to the brain, and negative impacts on stress. Physical activity is a natural stress buster. When you're sedentary, you may find it hard to cope with daily stressors, potentially leading to chronic stress, and it's associated to so many health problems. Back to our list. Number 8, poor sleep quality. With all of the other potential dangers associated with sitting too much, it's completely logical that with all of the pain and discomfort, your sleep is going to suffer as well. But there's so much more, my friends. One of my family members had a blood clot in their leg from sitting too much. It's really, really dangerous. Because your muscles are not active during sitting, blood flow to your legs is reduced, and it can impair your veins and your lymphatic system from functioning properly, causing fluid buildup, and it could lead to swelling in the legs and poor circulation and blood clots, which is really scary. There's also musculoskeletal disorders like osteoporosis and osteoarthritis, hypertension, high blood pressure, and as I mentioned earlier, diabetes and cancer. This is all from sitting too much. Our bodies were meant to move, right? Not to sit. I think, anyway, that's my impression. It's like a car was built to drive. It wasn't meant to be sitting in a parking lot rusting away. We have to move, and that doesn't mean we have to be on the treadmill for like 6 hours a day. We just have to be more active. So why don't I share some tips with you on how we can sneak a little bit more activity into our lives? So, how can we add more activity to our day? Well, the most obvious one is exercise. Create a daily exercise routine. Most people think that a 15-minute walk with the dog, every day, or a 10-minute workout twice a week is enough, or that it's necessary that you have to take a day off from exercise each week. That simply isn't true. Like I said before, the body was meant to be in motion. I personally find that when I take a day off from my routine, I'm less likely to begin it again. And I want to mention that I'm not talking about lifting weights 7 days a week. I don't think that would be good for the body. But doing something every day to get the heart rate up is doable for most people out there. It doesn't have to be going to the gym every day. It could be going for a walk, or like me, I have a mini trampoline. When it's too cold out, I jump around on my little tramp. It's fun. I listen to podcasts. I listen to music. I look at the dogs and I talk to the dogs. I just have some fun every day. I do stretching and I do weightlifting, but not every day. That you have to give your muscles a rest, but you don't have to stop cardio activity every day. You can walk up and down your stairs for 20 minutes every day. Ideally, the word is daily. Okay, so I'm preaching now. I'm going to get back to my list on how to add more activity to your day. Number 2, stretching. If you work at a job where you sit for long periods, get up and stretch every half hour. Set your timer and force yourself to get up and stretch for 2 to 3 minutes. When we sit for long periods, our muscles tense up, so they need some relief. How about desk exercises? Little exercises that you can do at your desk. Like I often do leg lifts, or I move my legs up and down like I was walking. And I do also what I call my chicken wings. I go like this. Chicken wings, just to get my body moving. And I don't know if you guys remember, I just thought of this. I think it was in the first Dumb and Dumber movie with Jim Carrey. He's in the van and he's pretending he's running while he's in the van. So I do that too sometimes. I go and I move my legs as though I'm running at the same time. And it just gets your body moving a little bit, and it actually brings you a little bit more energy. So how about number 4? Track your steps. Use a pedometer to see how many steps you take in a day and try to achieve 10,000. Do this over time. You need to get your body used to movement if you've been sedentary too long. If you see that you are really low on daily steps, try to do things like walking to work or parking your car further from the stores, taking the stairs, walking during your lunch breaks or coffee breaks. Those are some ideas. I remember when I first bought a pedometer after I gained all that weight after the burnout, I was shocked to see that I only took, I think it was 175 steps one day. I was like, whoa, that is too sedentary. Number 5, use a standing desk. Now, here's a photo I want to show you. I have a standing desk. This is an old photo from about 6 years ago, and my setup has changed since then, but I just didn't get a picture of it for you, so I took my old photo out. It's a great setup because it forces me to stand and move around. I can always take the laptop and put it directly on the desk if I need a little break and want to sit down, but it's a very good idea to keep that sciatica pain away. Regular activity and exercise offers many benefits besides burning calories. Research shows that exercise affects pretty much every cell in the body, not just our heart, not just our muscles, but it also affects other organs as well. So I want to show you some of the benefits of exercise on the body. And this is from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So number 1, sharper thinking. Yes, when you start moving around, you get that blood flowing and you're not as lethargic. Number 2, less depression and anxiety. I agree with that because exercise releases those good hormones that make you feel good and feel happy. Number 3, better sleep. When the body's tired, the mind can tire. You can sleep better. Number 4, help with weight management. We all know how being overweight and being obese can affect our health and everything else. So if we are staying active, it will help us maintain our ideal weight. Number 5, stronger bones and muscles. This is a no-brainer. When you exercise, you strengthen your body. When you're active, you strengthen your body. And number 6, reduced risk of health disease, stroke, diabetes, and cancers of the breast, the colon, and other organs. So, my friends, there are plenty of reasons to keep moving. So going back to Kate's book, The Inner Tarot, with every card, she has a section called Connect with the Card. For the Page of Pentacles, she writes, invite in a new vibration through free movement. This card feels opportunistic and excited. So mimic this excitement by bringing movement to your body, which will make you feel more alive and in tune with what could come your way next. Kate also suggests that we shake. Stand up and ground your feet. Soften your body and freely shake it up. Shoulder shrugs, arm swinging, wiggly legs. Let your body vibrate with motion and notice how revved up and excited you feel. Notice how your energy flows. According to the Harvard Gazette, each human being is made up of 5 trillion to 10 trillion cells. And this is the part that just breaks my brain. Each cell is a small universe with its own tremendous complexity. Wow. Trillions of cells. And they each have their own little universe. It's mind-boggling. But that just tells you a little bit about what's going on in our bodies. So shaking and moving activates all these trillions of cells in our bodies. Imagine the energy that's being created in these cells through all of that movement. So let's go back to Kate's book. She has a second section for each card called Deeper Reflection. And for the Page of Pentacles, she suggests some list making. She says, complete these lists. Number 1, these are some of the places, habits, hobbies, and ideas I hope to explore one day. Number 2, here are parts of myself I'm learning, the parts of me that I'm not completely familiar with, but remain curious about. I really like that, and I'm definitely going to be completing those lists. So I have a link to an article that you might find interesting. It's called Working Out Boosts Brain Health, and it's in the description below. Now, I always like to share some general journal prompts with each episode, and here are some general journal prompts for the Page of Pentacles. This is from the book Journaling with the Inner Tarot. Number 1, what is your definition of success? How are you tending to what is yours? How can you grow your nest egg? What gift can you give your body? I also have a book called Trauma Healing Journal. And for this series, I'll share a specific trauma healing prompt with you. This prompt is under the heading Dietary and Health Choices. And here's the prompt. Explore the role of exercise, sleep, and other lifestyle factors in managing trauma-related symptoms. And just as a reminder, I'm going to have all of the journal prompts and lists and things like that mentioned in the PDF downloadable workbook that I've linked in the description below that you can download and print if you like. So I'd like to pull an oracle card to emphasize the idea of movement and energy. Now this card is from the oracle deck, Whispers of Healing. I pulled the vibration card. We see a magical fairy traveling on the back of a bat. The guidebook says that this image encourages us to think about how we trust in our psychic gifts and how we have faith in our own abilities. Bats are very sensitive to vibrations. As you raise your vibration through movement, you'll build confidence in your instincts. The fairy and the bat are accompanied by moths, and like bats, moths are nocturnal. A moth usually shows up in your life when you're hiding. It's time to stop hiding and come out and get back into the living. I think this message works very well with the idea of moving to create vibration and more energy in the body. Creating movement and vibration shifts your energy from lethargic and unhealthy to vibrant and enthusiastic. Now, also for every episode, I like to pull a general card for the collective, just as a message on the subject of the episode. Now, today I pulled the Five of Wands from the Golden Girls Tarot. I absolutely love the Golden Girls. I didn't pull this card for the traditional meaning of the card, but I did because the Golden Girls themselves are out and about, being active and going bowling. No matter your age or your excuse, get some more activity into your life, my friends. You'll feel that vibrancy. If we think about the characters in this TV show, Sophia, the grandma, or the oldest golden girl, she was a firecracker, very much of the Wands energy. She wasn't one to sit on the couch all day watching TV. She was always either cooking or visiting friends or walking in the park or doing something sneaky just to bug Dorothy. Besides giving us her gift with comedy, she seemed to be always active. So, my friends, what are the key points that we should take from today's episode? Well, number one, focusing on the energy of the Page of Pentacles will help you to lay the foundations of a new project and encourage you to do your best and learn all you can. Great page energy there. Number two, for good health, it's important to be active and to move your body. Shake that body. Number three, a sedentary life or the sitting disease has innumerable bad repercussions on your health. Your physical health, your mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and financial health too. Number four, our bodies were meant to move, and there are many ways we can add more activity to our lives. Number five, the benefits of an active lifestyle are greater health and less likelihood of disease. Number six, being active does not mean having to be at the gym for hours and hours a day. So that's our show for today, my friends. What do you think? Leave me a comment and let me know. I absolutely adore the comments, and I'm so happy for everyone who's been contacting me about this show. Do all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, notification bell, all that stuff. And please share it if you know anyone you might think will benefit from this. And I hope you benefited from it and you got something out of it. Next week, we'll be working with the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight in the suit. So until then, take care, my friends. I'm sending you lots of love. Tap, tap, tap. Sending you love from my heart. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.